Welcome back. So we've switched.
Yes.
I'm on his right side now.
Yes, and I'm on the bad side. I'm on Decepticons, the Megatron army. We're going to play Conduit now.
Okay. Now, who's Conduit?
Okay, so
I don't know him personally, but what do you know of?
Actually, we keep in touch very
often.
We're
good friends. We're good friends.
Conduit is a healer.
Okay.
So whereas Meltdown was more of a kind of utility support, pseudo tank, jack of all trades kind of character, Conduit keeps people alive. That is his job. He is fantastic at single target, AoE, crowd control. He's an excellent healer.
There's a lot of ways you can heal, and it's not just, as you said before.
He doesn't put out the same kind of damage as Meltdown. So you're going to be relying on your team to do all the damage, although he has some tricks, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Like to hear that.
But let's start by jumping straight into his moves.
Yes,
actually, have we got a little intro on Conduit, or has that already been played?
No, we just played the sizzle. It's all up to you now. So these are our more advanced characters. So we have Meltdown and Conduit, which we're obviously showing now, but we also have starter bots that you start with. There's 3 starter bots for each side, which we're going to later today, or tonight. But for now, we're going to focus on Conduit, which is obviously a healer, and I'd just like to hear a little bit more about him.
So yeah, his his first weapon isn't a heal.
Oh.
Naturally.
What?
It's his blaster rifle. It's a kind of AoE shotgun.
Okay.
It's got a very small cone of attack, but it will hit through targets.
Okay,
so if everyone's sitting in a kind of cluster, you can hit all of them. It does omni damage, which means it's not great against shields, it's not great against spark, but it's not bad against either.
Okay,
It'll do the same amount of damage regardless. It's really good for kind of putting in that little kind of additional consistent damage that your team might need. However, you're not exclusively going to be going for kills as Conduit. You're more just kind of, if I don't need to heal, I may as well shoot them.
Right, okay. So yeah, don't try to get the most kills with Conduit. It's basically just,
Similar to Meltdown, he has the ability to use a stun with this.
Okay, yeah.
However, unlike Meltdown stun, this can hit in a AoE.
Oh, right, so it's not just a particular target you can actually get.
If you find the enemies are in a kind of cluster, you can actually stun the entire team.
Oh, great.
Which makes Conduit just, amazing at CCing an entire team. However, he doesn't have the knockbacks, the slows and stuff of Meltdown, so although he can potentially CC an entire team, it doesn't happen too often. You're usually going to be using that single target.
Right, and then you've obviously got the Aztecs for the other weapons as well, which are probably more stressed out about using.
So his number 2, that is his Enduro shotgun. That is a healing shotgun.
Okay.
So stick with me on this. You shoot people with healing bullets.
They're good bullets. They don't hurt. These ones help. But
so
explain why it's how's the shot happen? Is it like
so it's spread fire. So it's fantastic kind of burst healing. It has 2 rounds before it has to reload, and the rounds do really high single target healing that have the ability to crit. So you can really top someone up quick with this. This excels in a team fight when all your allies are close together.
Okay, right.
Because you can top up the entire team and you're critting with heals left, right, and center, and you can really get everyone topped up really quickly as a group. Its S-Tech is Conduit's S-Techs are all good.
Yeah.
You know how I said Meltdown, you want to be using this, Conduits all have great...
They're all okay, so there's no... Yeah,
so his S-Tech on this one is an AoE heal over time.
Okay,
so all targets hit will then receive healing even if you don't carry on hitting them with the gun itself.
Okay.
Which is, again, great for setting up the entire... topping up the entire team.
Right.
And you can use that when you are reloading.
Oh, right, perfect. So yeah, when you're waiting for the 2 bullets to come back.
Fire 2 shots with this, hit them with the S-Tech, then you could switch to his number 3, and you're still getting that heal over time. There's no kind of downtime in his healing, he just keeps
coming.
He's absolutely fantastic. His last weapon is his pistols. These are single target heals.
Okay.
Similar to Meltdown's kind of channeled ability, it's... So here's a question from chat. Do I prefer Conduit over Meltdown?
The question has been asked. You need to answer it. You can't ask in 5 minutes. This is not a Magic 8 Ball.
I prefer Meltdown as a character.
Okay.
I prefer playing Meltdown. I find him really engaging. He is really satisfying to play in a team situation.
Yeah.
I'd rather play Conduit when I'm playing kind of by myself.
Okay, yep. When you don't know the strategies of your friends, basically.
Because he's more kind of, I'm not going to use the word one-dimensional, but he's focused. Like, he is a healer.
Yeah.
Like, you're never going to have to play around what your team are doing. Just follow them, keep them tops up. He's going to do his job. Whereas Meltdown, you know, like that previous game, I was never going to, you know, I needed the kind of the team dynamic to be working for that to really, really work. So,
okay.
To answer your question, Meltdown is awesome, as is Conduit.
Fine, we don't get a proper answer, but that's a good answer. At least
as a character, Meltdown.
As a character, yeah, I mean, he's got a bit of attitude, which is good.
He's cool.
Conduit, you know, yeah.
Conduit's actually pretty cool too.
It's just the glare. It's just
It's not a I can't answer that. So yeah, his pistols, single target healing, heals consistently, but it's not bursty.
Okay.
So you need to keep that line of sight, and it's going to take you a little while longer to top them up, but it's more sustained and really good for topping up the individual during fights.
Okay.
The S-Tech on this is difficult to use, but really satisfying when you get it right. It debuffs your targets. It debuffs your target's debuffs. So
right, okay, yeah.
If they've had a trauma buff put on them, you can dispel it with this.
You can dispel it. You can basically, yeah, it's like an elixir from Pokemon or something like that. Did I just prefer to Pokemon? Oh god, I did that online. No, but it's good. It removes all the debuffs that your teammates have, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, it's only a single target. When you see the debuff come up that can be dispelled, it actually has a yellow box around it.
All right, cool.
You know, you have like the green arrows going up, red arrows going down kind of thing. The red arrow that you can dispel will have a yellow box around it. So you kind of get prompted as to when you can and can't use that.
Right.
So if you see them with a debuff that you can't dispel, you're not going to accidentally just use it for no reason.
Okay, cool.
It also does a small self heal on Conduit. So if you need topping up yourself, you can use that.
Okay, cool.
But that's not its main use. The dispel is. His number 4, Spark Duplicator. It does an AOE around Conduit himself.
Yep.
Which heals everyone inside it. But the more people standing within it, the more it heals.
So you really want everybody in that?
Yes.
Okay.
But unlike Meltdowns, which stays in one spot, this moves with you.
So you can use it and run and it's still working.
Basically. In situations like we had the previous game where the guy ran straight through it,
yeah,
I could run after him and it's still on him.
So even if that's probably why it's good to play if you're playing on your own. It's a good way to do it.
Again, this also self-heals, but the self-heal is based on the people around you. So if you are the target in a team fight, the healing is through the roof because all your allies are standing in it and you're just keeping yourself up.
I like it.
Light foot armor, again, a great self buff, which also buffs your allies.
Okay.
It increases your speed and it increases your armor, so the damage coming into you is reduced. The 30% speed buff is actually really useful because as a healer, you kind of want to run around a lot. You want to get out of line of sight. You want to be in a situation where the enemy can't hit you, but you can hit them.
Right. It's sort of like what you had with Meltdown as well, having the bot speed up pretty high.
Conduit also has a kind of passive buff, which means when you heal allies, there's a chance to increase their speed. So he's really good at kind of getting your team to move around as a team. And sorry,
that's okay.
I just wondered which one we're on. We're now on number 6.
We're seeing the game. Yeah.
This is the fun move. You know earlier I said he has some tricks to do damage. This is the trick.
Looks kind of poisonous.
This is.
What is it?
It applies a debuff to everyone around Conduit.
Okay.
Every enemy around Conduit, which means if they get a kill or go offline, they explode.
Oh right. So you.
Now when I say explode, I don't mean like the character like explodes on the screen. I mean like a massive AOE damage goes out, which just shreds everyone.
Does that last for? So if you put that onto a character, how long does that last on them before they disappears? Do you know?
The exact timing.
No, not the exact timing, but would it be something that you could have in 20 seconds later, or is it more of a...
It only lasts for a certain amount of time. So you usually look at the character as their health is really dropping on your team. As a healer, you have a good idea of whether you can keep them up or not. Okay. If it looks like they're going to die, hit that, because they're going to turn into a bomb. You might get a kill off it, or a counter kill. Yeah. But it is hilarious. I've seen double kills, triple kills.
Just on that one thing alone.
It does a lot of damage.
Death by
and
healer.
And people don't expect it because you're a healer.
Right.
And then suddenly it's just like, hey.
Great. So just before we move into tuning, I just wanted to cover up if some people are talking about they're still running on the browser. We actually do have a game installer as well. So if you go online, you can actually download the installer onto your computer. It's a quick, small download. It actually helps improves the game that runs your machine. It's just a little bit easier as well to get into the game because you just double click an icon on the desktop.
I will do a little plug for the player support team. If you find the client's not loading, after an update, uninstall it and download the latest version. It will work.
There you go. I mean, it's good to know that just so you don't have to let us know. But basically, anytime you have any issues, let us know, obviously. But that's something that really helps out. I think in the last, say, week or so.
We've had a few people like, oh no, the update happened, I can't get it. I'm like, just download the latest version, it'll work, trust me.
It's just a simple uninstall and reinstall. If that doesn't work as well, let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll help you out.
But yeah, he'll hook you up. And also, we are running competitions at the moment. I haven't mentioned it since I recruit a friend, but basically we're running 2 competitions along this whole double XP weekend. So if you play until early Monday, you'll get double XP. But with that, we also have what's called skill score competition. So basically, we're taking the skill score that you get, which is worked out. You can look on the website for more information on how that's worked out. But we're rewarding the top 10 players of each level from 0 to 10, 11 to 20, 21 up for both the Decepticons and the Autobots. So go in there and start playing. We will take your best score. So if you were, for example, really, really good at level 8 and you had a really high skill score, but then you moved to level 12 and you're not doing so well in that field, you still will be counted for that level 8 time when you were in that bracket. So it's just to make sure that nobody sits at level 10 and doesn't level up. It's just unfair for people who were doing really, really good. And then obviously with double XP, you want to have more XP. It's counterintuitive.
I notice you're avoiding a question here, so I'm going to ask it. Gdawg, why are you so handsome? Genetics.
It's genetics. It's also a bit of, I don't know, breathing in and out in the morning and continuing that until I fall asleep so I'm not dead.
Products.
Yeah, products as well. Yeah, a lot of hair gel.
A lot of products.
A lot of hair gel. I'm very flammable, so...
Right, so...
Anyway, back to tuning.
It's been on the screen for a while. He hasn't answered it.
I was just trying to take the high road and now I'm blushing. So Conduit, you've also chosen to have a high bot speed and resistance. So is this the same sort of principle you had with Meltdown?
Yeah, so his shotgun, although it does the spread fire and is great for burst healing, it's got fairly short range.
Right.
You find yourself in combat quite often. Mm-hmm. I like the resistance over repairing. Simply because you have so many ways of healing as Conduit. You almost don't need extra healing, if that makes sense.
No, that's right. I mean, you don't want to make it so strong. You've also got, two ways of healing at 2 weapons, obviously, and then all the...
and again, bot speed. Bot speed is bot speed. Brilliant. It gets you places quicker. There's no reason not to have it because it only takes 5 to max it out. So I like to put that on pretty much everyone.
Nice. All right, let's get this guy in. Just before we go, what is the server conversion and why is he equipped to you?
That is the.
It's a better speed. Okay, great. So you had the same idea as Meltdown as well.
If you look, you'll see. There we go. I have a whole load of them on the.
Oh no, you're putting it back on. No, but anyway, let's see Conduit in action here.
Just think, yeah. So I have a different one on here, which means that when I receive damage, I do more healing.
Oh, great. Okay.
So if people choose me as a target, it's going to make it easier for me to keep my team up.
It only makes you stronger.
It only makes me stronger. So I don't have as much utility as Meltdown. Mm-hmm. I am pure healer on this one.
Great, that's been good to see. Obviously, we were trying to do it a little bit with Meltdown in the previous game, just to, it was obviously a tough situation, but with this, you are a healer by trade. You'll be able to do it to the best of your abilities, and we'll get to see that in the next match. All right, welcome to the Decepticon base, the inner base.
So a little trick, if you know you want to get into a game, click cancel, and then yes.
So
you don't have to wait 15 seconds. Let's min-max our PvP experience.
It's just, yep. Well, that's it. I mean, a lot of people get in and they're like, do I have to wait for the 15 seconds before I get in? No, you can actually just cancel it and then
Well, we had this discussion earlier about YouTube ads.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm not waiting 15 seconds. I want to go now.
So if there's an ad that runs for 30 seconds and after 25 seconds you can cancel it, do you still cancel it out of principle, or you just wait the 5 seconds? just cancel PvP and go straight back into it. It'll save you 15 seconds. So we're in a meteor storm, and one of our new maps called Drum and Gorge. It's a very open space. If you saw us on a 24-hour live stream last week, we had a lot of games in this map as well, and we had a lot of tactics that you can use in this open space environment. You have a lot of long distance weapons that work really, really well, but at the same point you have the other characters which work really, really in close range. You get hiding spots, that sort of thing. So here we are. This game is quite. You're joining really tough games.
I seem to be attracting games in progress, which is awkward. When I play these games, we really like to establish the duel-based lead, as it were. Because of maths, we can. Because of maths. Whoa!
That was a tough one. Yeah.
Nice little handbrake turn, I think. So we join a game of session. You usually want to hold on to two bases. If you can keep the two bases, you can win. It takes a little bit longer, but it's the safest way of playing. You notice there, I actually had my 5 up. That was the one that reduces the damage I take, as well as increases my speed. That allowed me to tank his damage. It was saying like minus 75% when he was shooting me. So you can see just how much damage I was taking. It's like 5 per hit, I think.
That just got completely.
Sometimes in Meteor Storm, what you really want to do is just stop them taking the point. Even if it means you're going to die. And Conduit is great at just kind of prolonging the fight. I actually probably shouldn't be shooting this guy. You capture the points quicker when you're not in combat.
Right, that's something to point out, definitely. And vice versa, if someone's attacking you while you're trying to get a point, it also slows down, right?
So it looks like this QB is standing there, which is probably not a great idea because it allows me to stun him from quite a long range. I don't know if we picked off the kill. Again, you can get suckered into the whole, I want to get kills.
Right.
This isn't elimination, this is kind of King of the Hill format. So you want to capture these points.
It's for the greater good, it's not for your score.
No.
That's the thing, a lot of people will have these like little bouts with each other, forgetting that there's 2 points and not being touched.
So although our team is behind by 100 points, and winning is going to be difficult at this point, the meteors actually move around the map. And once a certain amount of energon has been harvested from them, they get exhausted, and you have to wait for a new one to fall down. That just happened on this map, which means that we actually have the ability to capture all 3 if we wanted to. Starmatic's actually running away from me here, but I have another one join in.
It's a tag team. It's like, I gotta go. You jump in.
So I'm trying to just prolong the point for as long as possible. I've had 2 of their team fighting me here. I'm actually going to stun him while he's got his melee weapon out here because it means he can't hit me for a few hits.
Which is good.
It's very difficult for me to survive here. I'm going to put the virus on him and see if we can get a counter kill when he kills me. You can see how much his health went down there. It really got chunked.
It really took a big smack out of him.
Unfortunately, it didn't end in a counter kill, and my team hasn't actually. Oh, hello.
I think it was the end of the match.
Oh.
They already had 2 points.
Oh.
We will go into another match and show you more of Conduit. I know that was a little last minute sort of.
Not much healing going on there either. No. More kind of just running around trying to get the objectives.
It was 500 to 1,000.
I'm not doing justice, am I?
It's fine. No, you're giving him good props. There was a good thing to point out as well. You have a tendency to chase people down in sort of these capture points, but there is that decision of whether to run off to the next point or, as you said, sacrifice yourself. Say just hold it as long as you can, so it's not in their favor. But then there's also not forgetting that it's not an elimination match. It's essentially
if you do have that momentum with the team where you are ahead, sometimes it is actually worth doing the whole running around trying to get kills. Because it's preventing the enemy team from, there we go, cancel, join. It's preventing the other team from capturing the points because they are stuck fighting you. So if you are ahead, it's not a bad tactic. Some people would be like, oh, you're getting sidetracked, you don't need to be doing that, just protect the points. If they're dead, they can't capture points.
Good point.
So if you can keep that advantage and keep members of their team kind of stuck on a deploy screen, you can win like that.
We got Engine in here. Engine was in our studios last week for our 24-hour podcast live stream.
Just waiting for the chat to suddenly light up.
He just really wanted to get into this match. This is great. Just a quick update before the game starts. We have the top 3 for our skill score competition at the moment, as it stands. This isn't final. But we have Selenor at 74, nice. Killick at 73, and TJ David at 72. This is from levels 1 to 10 on the Decepticon side. So there's six top 10s we're going to be going through as the day progresses.
Yeah, and it's actually, the skill score is based over a period of time rather than just the one game. So if you're doing well throughout the night, it will get gradually higher and higher and higher. You might notice that recognizing some names coming up here. Yeah, so if you get that one loss and drop right back down again, as you said earlier, like you'll retain that highest one that you have had so far. But the odd loss will really kind of take a hit. So
right. So I mean, a lot of people do think like, oh, I had a really, really good game and my skill score was good, and then it just dropped off. It's not like every match.
It's not based on that.
Yeah, if you have a perfect 20-0 elimination match, it doesn't mean that your skill score is going to be top. It's just.
I would definitely recommend playing with friends though.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier to kind of get those repeat wins when you're playing as a group, because this game is so much about team composition and tactics. You'll notice there's if you hold down right click, you actually lock onto the target.
Okay. So
unlike a lot of kind of similar style deathmatch games, there's no, well, I say there's some characters do, but the aiming system in this is not supposed to be the hard part of the game.
Right.
Like the ability to shoot someone isn't where the skill comes from. It's all about positioning, team composition, and then playing together, and that's how you'll get that skill score really high.
Okay.
So yeah, get some friends, and you'll get that number going up.
Nice.
If you're playing solo, you might join into that one game where it's going against you, and that you'll feel. Oh, hello, Mr. Soundwave's here.
Hey.
Sorry.
People that we know.
So in this situation, we actually only have 2 people forward of our base. It's me and Mr. Soundwave, so I'm going to stick behind this rock, line of sighting the enemy team. Okay. I'm putting the heal over time on here because he is taking heavy focus damage, but if we look at the minimap, we can see that they're all standing
right in the one spot.
Right in this spot, so I'm pretty much free to heal without taking any damage
That's a perfect
myself.
place to sit, yeah.
So as we join in, we're running a DPS heavy team here, so we have 2 drive-bys, which are great for that kind of long-range poke damage. They're going to have to move in on this, otherwise they're not going to pick up.
They're not going to do too well, yeah.
This AoE from Catapult, which I assume has been claimed by Engine, is forcing us out of that area. You notice how much damage I took?
Yeah.
In a really short period of time there. We're now pushing in a bit as a team, so I'm going to try and put in some pressure just to make them want to back off. But
okay.
My own health is actually getting a bit low, so they're probably going to make a play. I'm going to pop a cooldown and actually run back from this.
Okay.
That's kind of self-preservation. Unfortunately, as soon as they switch target there, they're now going to start putting a lot more damage to our team. Anjin's sniping me cross map. So again, he's keeping me moving away from my team. He knows that I want to heal. I've put a stun out on Anjin and transformed to try and get away from him, but he is committed to this. So I am now
literally chasing
running.
you down at the moment.
I've been knocked across the map.
That was annoying.
So I was transforming when a stun went on me, which is procced a strange kind of synchronization bug. This game is in beta. So
we're in open beta, but it is still in beta. So if you find any bugs when you're playing, let us know in the feedback forums, obviously. If you can get screenshots as well, that really helps out for the team to find out how we can replicate it and get rid of any bugs that you guys have encountered.
So Anjin's going in here. I'm trying to run away as best I can, stay out of line of sight. This is just kind of like, map experience. Like Anjin knows where I'm running to and how I'm going to get there.
Right, okay.
So he's going to just keep chasing me all game, rather than, killing the team standing out in the middle of nowhere.
Thanks, buddy.
So it doesn't look like
So it's more of a sort of a vendetta against you at the moment.
Yeah, which is fair enough, because he knows if he takes the healer out of the fight, the other 3 guys will go down eventually. So it is a kind of priority target. Anjin knows what he's doing, and he's going to try and give me as much grief as possible. I'm actually stuck behind this barrier, so let's see if we can get out the next one.
We have update for the levels 11 to 20. I'm not going to read out who is in the top 3, because we need to, not only do we have everyone in the world competing in this competition, we do also have people who play on their personal accounts from Jagex, and we know who they are, so we're not going to mention their names. but they will be removed, and we will get the proper top 3 later on in the evening.
So we've now got our group together in one place. So I'm putting out some AoE heals to try and keep everyone up simultaneously. I wouldn't be surprised to see that AoE kind of blender, I like to call it, come down from Anjin soon to really tear everyone apart. As much as I'd love to put a stunt, oh dear, this Soundwave going in deep here. Oh, line of sighted me.
Anjin's picking up in the background as well, I think.
As much as I'd love to have, don't want to get stunned here. Well,
okay, so you've used your consumable there, which is good.
Sorry,
no, there. It's fine.
I was halfway through one sentence. There it is. So I didn't want to use my my S-Tech to stun there, because as much as I'd like to get the kill, I'd also like my team to stay alive. We're behind on kills.
Right.
Dying at this point of the game is it's not going to help anyone. It's just going to make matters worse. So we need to keep everyone alive. More importantly, we need to get kills. So we will find that we're chipping them away because we're running the double healer.
Right, right.
So we can, and we've got a really nice, so we've got the Shell Shock putting out lots of damage here.
Yeah, Shell Shock's the tweaker.
So we've got double healer. That is going to tear him apart, so I really hope he moves out of it.
Move out, move out, move out.
That's the beauty of the double healer setup though. You saw how much damage was actually coming in there. And
but he was well supported.
As this guy gets away, I'm not going to stun because we can actually get this guy now by himself. Night Pulse.
There we go, and take him down with, you got drive by with the fists. Well, you still the fists? No, they're gloves, isn't it? The power gloves.
I'm going to try and get a jump shot. Yes, okay,
nice.
So we have...
So the first kill actually was done by Mr. Soundwave, but you did help him out a lot. And as a healer, I mean, it is quite strange to be able to have really good healer like chasing you down, essentially.
The tweaker is slightly out of position. I'm going to try and get in there and do the big save. I've popped my damage reduction as well as my AoE healing, so I'm trying to keep him up, but so really much damage coming out here from Anjin that I'm going to have to try and retreat back and keep the line of sight. This has broken Mr. Soundwave off, so he's probably going to go down.
He's been taken out there.
Unfortunately, because of team positioning, I'm trying to get the stun here. We're going to push in. No! We got the short range.
He went back.
So the double healer is great for keeping people topped up, but it's not as good when you're trying to get that snap kill. He's playing Hotwire, who does a lot of shield damage, but not a huge amount of Omni damage, which is what we really needed there to just finish off the kill. Again, as I said earlier, like Conduit's only really got that little blaster rifle, which doesn't do a huge amount of damage. I kind of want the tweaker to fall back a bit because Anjin's split off from the rest of his team.
Oh right, he has, yes.
So we actually have the ability to pick off a kill there. The tweaker going deep on that potential kill could actually come back to hurt him because we now are completely split up as a team.
Yeah, I can see you chasing up with your rifle.
Try and help him get the kill, but unfortunately, he kind of dug his own grave.
Zidrox is almost skipped around the corner. That's a good reason why you need a vehicle form. You can actually escape from like a very near miss or near death. We have an update on the Decepticon side of our skill score for levels 21 up. So at the moment we have Lil Crosswind at 80, Ice Trap at 78, and Riddle Art 1 at 76. That's for now. That's not the final, but we're just letting you know.
Right, Anjin's coming for a little 1v1, but he's actually dropped his AoE earlier.
Okay.
It's a big source of his damage. If you watch my health here, he does actually have the ability to hit through shields. So I'd be interested to see. Here we go.
All right.
Okay, so he's now hitting through my shield. So regardless of the fact that I have
shields, he's still
I have to run away. Going vehicle form, my equipment in vehicle form is a temporary immunity to damage.
Oh,
so
great.
I may be able to get away here, but took
great overclock with his rifle there, just chasing you down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a duelist. I'm not supposed to be in those fights. I saw that Anjin had used cooldowns, so I thought maybe he was getting a bit greedy. Alas, I shouldn't have done that. It was a silly play by me. Should have waited for my team. They're the damage.
Right.
I will not do that again.
You can get caught up in it sometimes, especially if someone who has been chasing you down. It's just human nature to want to return the favor.
Okay, so they just put out some big damage. I had actually popped both my AoE heal and my AoE damage reduction buff.
I can see you.
I had a heal over time as well as my shotgun going into him, and he still managed to damage through it. It's quite scary how much damage this team can put out on burst. We need to...
Is that the strength at the moment is it's a burst attack and then having to survive until they can rebuild?
Yeah, so the big burst is going to be coming through from Anjin's character, Catapult. You can see up on the ledge there. He's going to drop an AoE probably into our team as we group up. So I'm going to try and stay just a little bit away so avoid as much damage coming through onto me, but we've got Duststorm here trying to just poke him away. Duststorm's poke is good, but she excels with her rifles slightly more.
She is more of a hit and run, almost going into battle, doing a lot of damage and running away. Some people assume that she is
a sniper,
just a sniper, but she has a rifle with a good range, but it's not her primary function as a warrior. Do we have an update on the Autobot side for the skill score for levels 1 to 10, or 0 to 10? Haxio is at 74, Marvelous is at 73, and Fast Backup is also at 73.
Nice.
Get in there, guys! Come on.
I want to see one in the 90s.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it
Come
yet.
on, let's do it tonight.
I'd be so impressed.
That'd be great.
Okay, so
Yes, you've done your healing over time to Tweaker and Shadow at the same time, as you said before. It heals a particular group.
So I'm kind of like just bouncing around my team members here. We have quite a bit of damage, but these two characters, Duststorm being played by Tweaker and Drive-By by Mr. Soundwave, quite squishy. Soundwave has a... Soundwave? Well, the character, the player Soundwave.
The name, yeah, it's the name.
Drive-By has a self-heal, which you would have thought would make him fairly tanky as a character.
Yeah.
But you have to be in melee range to use it.
Okay.
So you have to be in close quarters combat, which is not the safest place to be when you're trying to stay alive.
It's quite a close game though. It's 4 to 9.
Yeah, so we're going to try and avoid going as deep as we did earlier. There was a bit of a misplay as a team. We got split up into 2 places.
Right,
so
and that's when
right now we're trying to slow it down a bit. I've nearly lost my shields. I'm actually going to preemptively use my AoE healing just so that they don't switch targets and kill me.
Okay.
Because they could.
It's possible. They'll
It's
probably
definitely
do
possible.
it.
I'm not really fond of our positioning here as a team.
Right. Well, I mean, you do have only 3. Someone sitting in the base at the moment, but they are pretty much sitting there waiting for you. There is a tactic you can have when you go into the hangar and you redeploy. You can sit in your inner base if people are trying to pick you up from, like, very, very closely to your base, just to sort of push them away. It doesn't last very long. I think it's maybe 20 seconds, but at least it gives you the upper hand when people are sitting outside of your base. It's something that we knew from a little while back, and we wanted to address that.
See, one of the hard things about this situation is the fact that we're running squishies, so people who take a lot of damage. Because of that, majority of my S-Techs are going into healing.
Okay.
I'd love to be stunning. I'd love to be getting our team some kills. I'm going to try and keep the Tweakers topped up, but Anjin's sitting next to him.
He's right next
We're
door.
about to see a lot of bursts. I'm actually putting the virus on everyone.
Let's see how that works.
Possibly deter them from fighting. Going to stun Anjin here, just that he doesn't get the chase and we can move in on him as a team. Try and deter him from getting the kill. He got it anyway because they chased down the Tweaker. He seems to be a bit of a solo artist this game. We need to pull back as a team and just secure, because earlier on we're getting some nice... Sorry, that was bad play by me.
We were about to
I
sneeze.
apologise to Mr. Soundwave there. No, so my teammate was taking a lot of damage behind me.
Okay. And you felt like you weren't doing your duty.
I should have been healing. I wasn't healing very well.
You know your mistakes when you move on. This is what we call life lessons.
Yeah. So
battlefield.
we need to kind of put some pressure on Anjin here, I think. He's putting out the majority of damage in our team. We have a few healers.
Triage trying to...
which shouldn't be putting out any damage. I'm going to stun, but I think it might be a bit
If
preemptive.
the Tweaker chases him down, it might work. Might
So
pulse.
right now, again, we've got him caught out in the open. I might be able to get a chase here.
2 triages on the map, so you've switched to your primary attack, or your only attack weapon, basically. But because you're against Triage, who is essentially a healer, right, on the Autobot side, you're able to. Yes, you've got. So I mean, in terms of like when you're facing another like healer type as well, there is the chance where you can pull out your offensive and actually try to get a good kill if they're low on their health.
I mean, Conduit has the ability to stay deep. Anjin has popped his AoE damage, so actually going in deep here is not a good idea. See how much damage they just put out. We just had a corpse just appear, which is actually quite terrifying. We need to... Sorry. We're going to need to push in and try and just get some kind of pressure out of the team. But
you've used the virus on Key 945 there.
I was hoping maybe we could
take him
snap
down.
a kill while Anjin was flanking around the back, but you can see he's up there on the hill. He's shooting away from range. I'm taking big damage. I'm going to have to retreat out a little bit, which is really awkward because I wasn't taking the main focus of the fire there. I'm using my my shield again for immunity of damage. I'm going to try and get up here with my ally and get out of my sight. Unfortunately, we're falling back as a team, but we don't have that kind of.
You've got a bit of support there by.
Yeah, we see we're now switching to that kind of defensive. Let's all heal each other.
Right.
I am taking a lot of damage and I'm running out of options. All my equipment is down and my S-Techs don't really help me survive.
It's more or less just trying to keep teammates alive here.
Luckily the equipment's just come up, which allows me to self-heal, kind of. It works better as a group, but that damage again is so much.
It is quite bursty there.
We're trying to just chip away, but I'm putting so much of my S-Techs and my equipment into just staying
keeping
alive.
these guys alive, and they are hunting you down quite.
Okay, we're going to put the virus on. I'm going to try and put out some damage. You see, nearly killed him. Are we going to get the counter kill?
You might.
Don't think so. So
no?
I'm kind of
okay.
hanging on that screen, hoping to see the kill back, but again, it didn't quite do enough. It does a lot, but not enough.
Not enough
when it counted.
Just not enough. So yeah, anyone who's interested in how the Decepticons and the Autobots are going, Decepticons at the moment have 53% of the total kills and 42% of the total wins. Well, the Autobots have 47% of kills and 58% of the wins, which is quite interesting. Share the Twitch stream that we're showing right now. Use our hashtag #TestYourMetal and get people to watch. This is exciting stuff. We're going for the next couple of hours, and we're switching over to the US side as well. So they'll be taking over for the next 4 hours with Mr. Barassa. If anyone knows, everyone loves Mr. Barassa and his skills.
The man is a genius.
He's not the best, is he?
He's not the best.
Is he not the best?
I thought he was pretty
I'm
good.
Just staring up some stuff.
So we actually got into a situation there where we could have got a kill, but unfortunately I didn't have my S-Tech up because I'd literally just used it to heal. So we didn't have the ability to stun. So now the Zidrog's character has managed to get away, but they got the last kill.
They got the last kill.
Again, we split up. We went for that kill. It was their game to lose.
Okay.
At that point, they played really well as a team. Anjin knows how to put out damage, but I think more importantly is he knows when to put out damage.
Yeah.
It's very easy to kind of go in too deep and pop all your cooldowns and kill someone and then die yourself.
Okay.
He played really smart there. He played in such a way that he only went deep when he could get the kill and he could get out safely.
All right.
You'll notice that your skill score at the end of the games probably won't be very high. I'm losing too much. Your skill score won't be too high if you are just getting kills and then dying. It's all about putting out that consistent damage, getting those consistent kills, and not playing dumb.
Right.
don't go dumb. You don't need to go dumb. You can play smart.
Yeah, good.
They played really well as a team.
It was a good match. It was quite close.
Yeah. Again, it was one of those games where they won quite significantly on score. It was actually quite close. We got a few situations where they played really well. They put out a lot of damage, preventing me from CCing crowd control.
Right.
And actually getting the kills. So.
Right.
Cool. I'll go back to.
Let's go back to the base. So.